Hello, Just Too Good here, and today I'm reviewing the All Terrain Trapper from 2000 for Throwback Thursday. Now, usually by this time I would review a LEGO Star Wars set in the Throwback Thursday lineup, but unfortunately I can't find a classic one. I knew I had one in storage, but I don't think I brought it down. But I thought it'd be cool to do a bigger LEGO Adventure set. Now, this one was previously opened by the tape alone, but really the unboxing would be inside here, where all these pieces are still sealed. So we do have two dinosaurs, this little plate right here, and the instructions, and I guess a catalog. Also, this set did retail for $30 in the United States. So there's a lot of separate builds in this set, and here are all of them together. And actually, first I want to take a look at the dinosaurs, and then we'll take a look at the minifigures. So here is a Triceratops, and this was our first LEGO Triceratops, and it's the older style of LEGO animals, even down to the fact that it uses an old gray, but older LEGO animals have molded eyes right here. So you can see that looks a little bit creepy, admittedly. It does use some different pieces, like this front of the mouth right here, which is a removable piece, the horn up here, which is kind of a bad quality. It came from one of those things like, say, the LEGO keys come in where it's like a little board of different pieces. I don't really like how that one's molded because I can't really position it straight up, so it's kind of a little bit awkward, but you can open and close the mouth. It does have a tail on the back, which feels a little bit loose, and 4 studs up top, but overall it's not too bad. Now for the Stegosaurus, this one I really don't like. I know Stegosauruses have kind of a small head and a big body, but this looks really awkward. It just looks incomplete, and you have those small little molded eyes. I don't know, man. I do like the little spikes on him, though. It's like a hard plastic, and it's actually kind of cool feeling it up and down, and he does have 2 different colorings with his legs being gray. And this one does come in the bigger set as well. I forgot to say the Triceratops actually also comes in, I think, 2 separate sets. So there's one that has this bottom part, and then there's one that has this top part, and then this one puts those 2 parts together. But either way, that's it for the dinos, and now let's take a look at the minifigures. So our first minifigure is Baron von Baron, and this is the same one that is in the desert line, and I think even the jungle line, if my memory serves me correctly. Nothing really new here. Here is Alexis Sanister. She's not in too many other sets. I really like the design of her torso. I think that's really useful. I guess the face wouldn't really be useful nowadays. It's just very basic. But she does have some interesting hair kind of designs on there with the bangs, which they don't really print hair anymore. And here is Mr. Cunningham, and he doesn't come in too many other sets as well. Love that torso. It's actually really funny with the belly showing. He does have Johnny Thunder's hat, interestingly enough, and kind of an interesting face printing with also some little hair designs on there. And for the rest of the builds, I guess we'll start off with the vehicle. So here is the vehicle, and honestly the design of this is very awkward. I really don't like it. It looks like a ship in my opinion, and maybe that's what it's supposed to double as, but either way, there is a pretty neat play feature, and it involves this net right here. So basically, you make this thing crash into like a little dino, and depending on how hard you push it, that net is supposed to land on the dino. It's really hard to get it on the dino, but if you miss it, you could just kind of make it go over like that. So I think that's actually kind of clever on how that works. But other than that, taking a closer look, the little cockpit right here does fit 2 figures, and they do use that same kind of windshield piece that they used in that one desert set I got. You can see there's a stick shift and a little steering wheel. Now, other than that, they use these really interesting wheels, which I haven't seen before, and I like how those kind of come out where there's a lot of like area outside of the actual rim right there. I think that's actually kind of interesting, but there's not too much else to the vehicle because a lot of it is taken up by the play feature, which if you press that, you can kind of see how it just sort of flips up and you gotta push it back down. And this next part is also for trapping dinos. You got a little bit of greenery on each side and this platform. And really the play feature with this is that you put one of the dinos right here on this platform, you push down, and that net just kind of goes over them. Again, another one that works pretty well, and I like how it turned out. And I actually like the design of this, I think, better than the vehicle, because it just looks a little bit more pleasant, even if it uses this raised plate right here, which I usually don't like these raised brick plates. And then the last little build is this area right here, which comes with this little weapon crate, which really doesn't have a place in the build. It's just kind of like a little side build. We have a little cooking area and a little cellar of maybe like a drink or something like that. I do like how they built this shrubbery right here with the rocks and everything. It's kind of cool how it came out. There's no play feature there or anything, and they do include this little baby dino right here, which was used a lot throughout this line, and I always liked that design. I liked how in Agents 2.0 they used that in gold. I thought that was actually kind of cool. But that's really it for the build of the set. And let's go on to the packaging and then the final verdict. We already looked at the front of the box, which does have that 2000s Lego Dino Island aesthetic to it with kind of the brown border, but the back does have some nice little kind of comic illustrations, alternate builds, and it's actually really interesting. I do appreciate that. And actually the back of the instructions have the same kind of illustrations and alternate builds. And what's really interesting is they give you some alternate build design instructions. So I actually thought that's kind of a cool inclusion. You can see there's even one with like a little plane right here. That's kind of cute. And then they have these illustrations for different dinosaurs throughout the sets, and they're like hyper-realistic illustrations, so that's really funny as well. The catalog covered is just the 2000s ones, which I went over in another video. So overall, the LEGO Adventures All-Terrain Dinosaur Trapper set, I think when it was released for $30, it's a good deal. Probably nowadays it would be like $40 to $50 with inflation and everything like that. Of course, it does have these bigger dinosaur molds. They're not as big as I actually expected them to be. They are actually kind of small when you compare them to the size of other stuff in this set. And there's nothing really too interesting in terms of the builds here besides the play features. I think that's my favorite part of all the builds. The play features work really well, and they really made this whole vehicle that looks a lot like a boat and everything to illustrate this play feature. And in that aspect, I wish there was more interesting builds, but at least they have something going for it besides the figures and the dinosaurs themselves. So yeah, I guess Dino Island might not be as bad of a sub-theme as I imagined at first, because I never really liked this sub-theme. I'll definitely give it more of a chance now that I see how fun this set is to kind of play around with. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys later, and I think next week would be what? A Paradisa set? I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.